Alright, hello everyone! How are you all doing today? Welcome to the version 4.7 update in Genshin Impact. Today we're going to be doing the new Archon quest because of course that's super exciting. Every year we get this one Archon quest where we get to meet up with Dainsleif and kind of advance the main storyline. The reason the Traveler is here in the first place. They traveled to Teyvat, and now they're on a journey to look for their sibling who they got separated from. And it sounds as though we are going to be learning a lot this time around from the trailers. And of course that beautiful animation, the road not taken. That was so touching. So I really hope Aether and Lumine will get to meet soon. And that it will be a good reunion. Not an unhappy one. Okay, but the version update just started, so what's new? What's new? An everlasting dream intertwined. Alright, here's all the updates. Let's see. We got our Primo Gems. I haven't pulled for our character in a while. Oh yeah, Clorand and Sethos. I kind of want to pull for Sethos. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'm really interested in either of the 5 stars this time, but I do kind of want to pull for Sethos. I have lots of pulls if I do want to, so there's that.
Once, there was a glorious kingdom established among the heavens.
Maybe I should let this play out, just in case.
From that kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out the Genesis Pearl from the kingdom of darkness.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. But I do wonder if when this animation, the storyline is gonna come into play at all. I wonder. Okay. Let's see. What's new here? What's new here is that now the resin cap has been increased to 200. That is very interesting. I look forward to that. Bedtime story, Archon Quest, Chapter 4, Act 6. Let's see. Oh, we can do test run. Maybe we'll do test run. Bedtime story. After listening to the bedtime story that day, all the Hilichurls had a dream. The young soul waved goodbye, and the people and sun slept together warmly. Aww. You say Aether is awake and Lumine is asleep. And then in the 2 pictures for the road not taken, you have one where Aether's awake and Lumine's asleep, and one where Aether's asleep and Lumine's awake. And Dainsleif's there too. Hi, Dainsleif! And Clorand's story quest, which is now available. That's good. We should just go unlock that. Oh, enable focus experience mode. Well, hopefully I won't run into any. I don't have that many quests that are active right now. I think I've done a pretty good job of clearing them all. I'm gonna unlock Clorand's thing for now. So we definitely don't need the focus experience mode right now. However, I can see it being very useful if you're at an earlier part of the story, or earlier part of the game. You just have so many quests, so many story quests open, all of this and that. I'm really glad that they have a mode like that. That being said, I'm pretty confident we're not going to run into anything here. Okay, we're starting in Sumeru. I was wondering, okay, before we get started, one thing I was wondering about is like, what happened in the Fontaine storyline. I mean, spoilers for the Fontaine storyline if you haven't played it. It's a prerequisite for this, so I assume you have. It ended with Focalors destroying the seat of the Hydro Archon, and of course freeing Farina from her endless, painful, lonely opera. But I'm sure, Celestia and the gods are not going to be happy with being missing with a seat. I'm not sure if that's going to be addressed in this story, but I just want to bring it up. I don't know why I jumped down here. I guess because the boats are over here, that's why. I have not even gone to Beta Harbor yet. Oh well. Alright, I guess we're starting in Sumeru. Let's go. We will be reunited, but not here. Not now. Alright, let's see.
Perfect. It's you two.
Yeah,
I
hello.
have a commission here that has your names written all over it. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say you're the only ones for the job.
Well, I'm glad we're back in town then.
The job? If our help is really that important, it's probably some Archon class commission, right?
Oh, Paimon, you're probably correct. I've never heard of that classification before, but sure, we're happy to take this on. Which Archon do you need us to deal with today?
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact, this commission is also probably not nearly as intimidating as what you're expecting.
Probably
All it
is the
asks
key
us
word
to
there.
do is to find a missing person.
Oh, okay. This often goes down other roads that we
Then
don't
why did you say
expect.
we were the only ones for the job?
I came across this commission while reviewing our backlog not too long ago.
You guys are backlog. That's
It
not
seems
good.
simple, but our records
Some of these
indicate that
commissions are
over a
very
dozen
urgent.
successive
They
efforts to
probably do the
complete
urgent
it
ones
have all
first. That's
ended
why
in
there's a
failure,
backlog.
despite attempts by several accomplished and renowned adventurers. With the reputation of the Adventurers Guild and the performance of the Sumeru branch at stake, it's in our best interest to assign this commission to the adventurer with the highest completion rate over the past few years.
Well, count us
Well,
in.
that's us for sure.
It is. We do all our commissions every single day without fail. Flattery will get you everywhere with Paimon, but I can't guarantee that we'll be able to complete it either.
All I'm asking is for you to give it your best shot.
Well, that's what we're willing to give.
If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well, I'll talk to the commissioner about canceling the commission.
No,
Okay,
that's
so
not
who are
necessary.
we looking for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to complete?
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. They say one of their own villagers has gone missing.
Okay.
But the problem is, they don't know the missing person's name. They can
Oh.
only provide information about his general appearance.
They're all from the same
Probably
village,
doesn't
but
interact
they
with-
don't even know his name?
Probably they don't interact with the community very much then, it sounds like.
If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all. Could it be some sort of a prank or something?
Unlikely. Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance and tone of voice, they seemed incredibly
So
sincere.
people the village
It
care
certainly
about
didn't
this
seem like a
person,
joke
even
to
though
them.
it seems like
Besides,
they haven't had many
Putting up a
interactions with
commission
them.
requires a processing fee. There aren't many upsides to a prank that costs Mora to carry out.
I mean, that just shows the strength of community and working together. I hope that's what this is that all these people are still willing to go out and look for this person, even though they don't even know who they are. That's wonderful. Unless there's more to this than meets the eye. But even if so, that doesn't necessarily negate what I say. So, true, that would be a little strange.
In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara Village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say anything you can learn directly from the villagers would be far more reliable.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to avoid misdirection is to go to the source.
Sounds good.
All right then, let's go! Paimon's starting to get really curious about this whole
Me
thing.
too. Alright, let's do it. Chapter 4, Act 6, Bedtime Story. Cold Case Commission. Okay. Well, we got this. I hope. So much goes down in Vimara Village. There was that
We made it
TCG
to
thing.
Vimara Village!
The guy was hiding
Why
out
don't we
here.
talk to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more
The
about
R&R
the missing guy.
storyline.
If this commission is really as challenging as Catherine made it out to be, we're gonna need to carry out a very detailed investigation.
Hello there. You looking to buy something? I do business in this
I
area.
mean, we would love to, but that's not what we're here for.
We're adventurers. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vimara Village.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, so you're here about that then. Ah, you're not the first, that's for sure. We've certainly made a lot of trouble for you all. To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here, confident they'd be able to help us, only to leave soon after with nothing to show
Well,
for their
that's why this
efforts.
time they've sent the
We've pretty
best
much
of the
had it up
best.
to here in questions, and the area around the village has practically been overturned in search of clues, but no one has been able to make any headway.
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name? Where did he live? Does he have any relatives?
I don't know. I really have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, guess you are really sick of answering questions.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound short with you. I was actually just giving you my answer to your questions.
Well, even if you don't know their name and who their family is, you should know where they live, right? If you don't have that information to go off of, and this person has no connections, then surely the only connection they would have is that you all live in the same place. And presumably you know that they would live in a general area of the village, right? I mean, there was enough concern here that this person was reported missing, even though nobody knew anything about them. So, is there anything else you can tell us?
I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we all have a very strong impression of him. When you live in the same village as someone, you develop a lot of memories together, you know?
Yeah.
We just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point, but that information is long gone by now.
What do you mean that information is long gone by now? Surely not all of you lost your memories of this person at the same time. Did you?
At least that's what everyone in the village seems to think. We've all exchanged what we know.
Oh no,
and
I
that
think
was the
everybody's
only
forgotten
logical
what this person
conclusion.
was like.
Alright, specifics aside then, what kind of person was he?
Yeah.
Young guy, in his early 20s probably. Incredibly kind sort of person, always willing to lend a helping hand. I'd chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his neck for others on more than one occasion. Very interesting guy, that one.
Now that you've started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in the dumps as you did before. Seems like he left a pretty good impression on you.
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him. We wouldn't have issued that commission otherwise. There aren't many young people like him nowadays, so genuine and pure. To think that he just up and disappeared one day. I just hope nothing bad happened.
Could he have just moved away without telling anyone?
That's best case scenario.
No, he's not the type to leave without saying goodbye. And anyway, moving away without being seen by a single person in the village? There's no way he would have been able to manage
Unless he
that.
didn't bring anything with him.
Alright, thanks for the information. We're gonna go ask around some more.
Yeah, thank you. Alright. Talk to Amadia. Hello. We haven't seen you since the Aranara quest. That seems like so long ago now.
It's the guests I hear.
Hello.
Hi, Grandpa Amadia. We're here to help you look for the guy that's gone missing.
Ah, so that's what brings you to these parts. Coming all this way for our sake. That's so very kind of you. With your help, I trust that young man's case is in good hands.
Could you tell us a bit about him?
Of course. I'm happy to help any way I can. With my failing eyesight, I'm afraid I can't offer much about his appearance. But I do remember hearing the
It's
sound of
okay.
his
It sounds like
voice.
nobody can describe his
Not
appearance too,
recently,
so I
of
don't think
course.
it's just your
That
eyesight.
loss has left me feeling quite empty.
Okay.
I don't think his parents are still living in the village. But somehow he never seemed lonely.
Was he playing with the
In
Aranara?
fact, he was usually the one offering companionship to others.
Yeah, I
He
see.
would often take time to visit the elderly or play with the orphans in the village. And whenever someone had something on their mind, he was there to listen with open ears. He always knew just what to say. As the village chief, I owe him many thanks. Helping villagers navigate difficult moments in their lives should have been one of my responsibilities. But he was often the one rising to the occasion.
Wow. He seems like such a nice and gentle person.
Yeah.
No wonder his disappearance affected you all so much. But,
So,
you wouldn't happen to know any details about his name, address, or family situation, right?
yeah, there's no way this person was of such high character and so kind and generous to the people of this village. And these people in the village would have no idea who he is or anything about his family unless something happened to make them all forget. That kind of person would be the kind of person, the people would ask him, you know, what's your name? What can we do for you? And insist to get all these details because, hey, this person is helping out here in the community, and you know, they'd want him to be a part of that. So I really think the only way they would not know his name, address, or family situation is if they all forgot. Now, if you remember last time we did an Archon quest of this style, the Dain's learning about the Traveler kind of Archon quest, was the Caribert quest last year that also took place in Sumeru. So I'm just going to throw that out there, that there's connections that are starting to form here.
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just can't remember. No matter how you look at it, I should know those things. But for some reason, no matter how hard I try to remember, the information just doesn't come. Perhaps my age really has caught up with me this time.
It's okay. There's no need to force yourself to try and remember. We'll figure something out.
Okay.
Well, Traveler, what do you think?
Well, it's not much of a lead. There's probably more to this case than meets the eye. I agree. I sense some dark forces at work here, because this is clearly not just any missing person case where the person just went missing. Something else is at play here for sure.
Paimon thinks so too. Like, the name thing. It's so weird that no one remembers his name. And nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family or where he lived. It's like this guy's been erased from reality or something.
I would say it's more like he's someone who only exists in people's memories.
Wait, so you're saying it's not that he's been erased, necessarily, but more like he never existed to begin with? Okay, Paimon's gonna need some time to process that one.
Okay, but we need some evidence to back that one up. I think Aether's onto something here. Could it be like what happened with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Like some sort of mass alteration of people's memories? Maybe. I mean, definitely. I mean, because the thing with the Greater Lord Rukkhadevata and Scaramouche situations is like, it's not as though the events actually changed. That's the thing, it's not the events actually changed, but rather all living and recorded memory of these events changed. There's still traces that, you know, Scaramouche and Greater Lord Rukkhadevata did exist, but nobody knows it except for the people who know to look for it. And it's not as though it's been made to have never happened. It happened, it's just nobody can remember it. So in this case, you're suggesting that, but then you're suggesting if some kind of alteration of people's memories, then this person did exist and they were here, and it's just that people cannot remember it. Anyway.
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right?
Okay.
You're here.
I saw you walking in the background there. I didn't want to say anything, but...
Yeah, sure are. We were just looking into the case.
Can we help you?
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. I've been so worried the Adventurers Guild might cancel our commission. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vimara Village. Anyway, I just wanted to say, please keep searching for a missing villager. I'm begging you. You have to find him.
I'm sure we'll track him down. We'll certainly try our best. I'm just doing my initial assessment of this character. Is this character just going to give us well wishes and send us on our way and not come back at all? Or are they going to turn up and have a major role following us around for the rest of this story for either good or evil? Who knows? We'll certainly try our best.
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best shot. So, were you close to the
Yeah, we're just getting info right now.
Are there any leads you can give us?
I'm not sure this counts as a lead, but follow me. There's a place I'd like to show you.
Okay. Go to the place indicated by Atosa. Sounds good, but where is this? What have we gotten ourselves into now? Just what have we gotten ourselves into now? Everything that starts with a small case turns into something disproportionately larger than we thought it would be.
Is this the place? Under
There's
this
a
tree?
person in the tree.
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me.
There was
It's
something in
so
the
full
tree.
of
Did you guys see that?
memories. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes we would look up at the clouds in the sky or stop to feel the wind against our skin. We could sit there for hours at a time, never realizing how long it had been. I was actually adopted by the people of Vimara Village. The forest rangers found me in the woods as a child. I was surrounded by such good people, and growing up in the village was so lively. Still, there were times when I couldn't help but feel incredibly alone.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, you always want to talk about it with somebody.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, I didn't know who I could talk to, or if I should say anything at all.
Aww.
Everyone has their own problems to deal with. Even if I might want to confide in others, I don't want to become a burden.
I think I get what you mean. That's what family is for.
Really? You know exactly how I feel?
I used to have someone like that. A family member that I could talk to no matter what. But now, I have a lot of friends who understand me and would be happy to hear me out.
Aww.
Yeah, and we listen to our friends
Wow,
too.
that sounds really nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, well...
Oh, is it just their
I guess you could
memories?
say that to me.
Because there's
It
two
felt
people
like
up there, but
both.
maybe it's
A
just
family
her
member I
memories
could
of
rely
sitting
on,
up in the
and
tree
a friend who could really
with her
understand
friend.
me. No matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient too. Whenever I talked to him, he would always seem so interested, as if the things I was describing were just as important to him as they were to me. Ever since he disappeared, there's been so much I wanted to tell him. No, none of those things matters now. I just really want to see him again.
If this person doesn't know the missing person's name, that's 100% confirmation that something is extremely wrong here, and it's not with the people. There's something off about the situation that's in a kind of creepy, horror sort of way.
Wow. You two must have been really close. Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. He'd share a lot of his own wild ideas as well. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. But all he said was, they're not here anymore.
They're not here anymore. Okay.
I didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away, and I didn't want to pry.
Still not much to go off of.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing to show for
No
it.
worries.
I'm sorry I wasn't
No,
more help.
that's more of a lead than we've gotten from anybody else, so thank you so much. Don't say that. You helped us understand him better.
The last time I talked this much in one go was when we were still together. Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler?
It was always the same time of day. And time never seemed to pass. Based on what we've learned, this is definitely not a regular missing persons case. What Atosa just told us about time could be the key to unraveling this whole mystery. Hilichurls!
Hey, look at those Hilichurls over there. Doesn't it seem like they're acting a little strange?
Just a little. Oh, Abyss Mage.
The Abyss Order. Could they be the ones behind all of this?
You know, we haven't actually heard any Abyss Mages talk since like the very beginning of this game. We haven't actually seen a lot from the Abyss Order. We've been slowly learning what it is, but we actually haven't seen them do any act on anything since, I guess, the Dvalin incident and then the whole upside down statue thing. We actually haven't heard from them since then. Okay.
Uh-oh, we've been spotted! Quick, get ready to fight!
Alright. Defeat the Abyss Order monsters. Water gun! Wow, okay, I actually don't have very many good elemental reactions on this team. Oh no. Okay, this might be bad against Abyss Mages. This whole situation. That's worse, I took Farina out of my team, and then I put Aether instead, and now I'm using... Aether does not exactly substitute what Farina was capable of. Okay, well, it seems like we're still making good progress against all odds, so I'm happy with that.
Squall and Fury.
Goodness, we're just a very strong team.
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting monsters to show up. If you hadn't been here, I'm not sure what I would have done.
Well, good thing you were here.
No trouble.
Good thing we were here. The question we should be asking now is, what is the Abyss Order doing around here?
Now that I think about it, the Hilichurls around Vimara Village have been a lot more active lately.
I see.
They seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight. Chief Amadea doesn't allow the children to play in the area around the village anymore.
Maybe the Abyss Order really is involved.
That would explain
Well, we should head back and check
the
out
amount
the
of
situation in Vimara
mystery
Village,
involved
just
in this
case.
missing person
If the
case.
Abyss Order is plotting something that could spell trouble for the villagers.
Uh-oh. I feel like something bad's gonna happen.
Wait a second. The person... It's
Dain's Loom! Oh. Well, you made quick work of them. Hello.
Ah, it's you two.
It's been a year, as usual.
Oh, a friend of yours?
Something like that. I commissioned him for 500
I'll
more.
leave you all to it then. I should
And
head
that was
back to
a
the
very
village
long
and
time
check up
ago,
on
and he's
Chief
still
Amadea
kind of
and
with
others
us.
anyway. See you later.
Contractually.
Yep,
Once a
see you
year.
later, Alyssa.
I hope everything goes well. Thank you. I really do hope everything
Why do
goes
you
well.
always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
Yes.
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
True. Well, we weren't
So
really
you're
here
here
for
to
the Abyss
investigate the
Order,
Abyss
though,
Order,
which
then.
is the crazy
That
part.
would explain the monsters you were fighting just now.
We only just found out that they were involved.
Naturally. Hold on. Are you not here for the same purpose?
I mean, now that we know they're involved, yes, but that's not why we were originally here. We're also on their tail, but I'll admit we ran into them on accident.
No matter. It may have taken you a while to catch on, but I'm sure you've also realized by now that there's something strange about this place.
Strange is
The
puts it
Abyss
very
Order is most certainly
vaguely, but
planning
yes.
something in this area. Or worse, their plan could already be in motion.
So you think the Abyss Order is behind the Hilichurl activity in the area?
And probably behind the missing person.
As things stand,
Or
I highly
missing
doubt
person
that is
case,
their
or
primary
whatever it
motive.
actually turns out to be.
I would imagine the increased Hilichurl activity is merely a byproduct of whatever it is they're really trying to accomplish.
Still, the Hilichurl activity is causing a lot of problems for the people here. We should
Yeah.
stick around for a
Remember
while
though,
and
the
protect village,
Hilichurls
don't you
were
think?
also from Khaenri'ah.
The best way to protect them is by figuring out what the Abyss Order is truly planning. That is how we prevent further tragedy.
Very true. Oh, I see some trees out there. Well, let's see what more we can learn from the villagers. And after that, you also owe us many answers. Thank you for saying that every single time, Aether. And then he owes us a lot of answers, but we pretty much only get one answer per quest these days.
And you shall have them. I never intended to hide
He's not
anything
hiding
from
anything
you.
from us. He's just making us
Don't
wait.
worry. There should be ample time
Oh,
to
don't
talk.
say that. That's a big sign. We're not gonna have a lot of time. Or we're gonna have too much time. One of the two.
Ah. So that was the commission that brought you here to Vimara Village. Someone who seems to only exist in people's memories. That is indeed quite intriguing. I would agree that it's unlikely you have a simple missing persons case on your hands. However, any possible connection to the Abyss Order is still unclear. It appears all we have by way of clues is increased Hilichurl activity, and that is certainly not much to go off of.
Well, I'm sure by the end of this we would have solved everything. Until then, how about the intel you promised me?
Right! That mysterious voice he heard in his sister's memory. The one who called himself a sinner.
Oh yeah! Tell us! The crystal thing! Please don't tell me you don't know. We've been waiting a whole year for
Traveler,
this.
let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you?
Well, it depends. I don't really know what she's doing. We always seem to stumble in on the Abyss Order plans. I don't know what her motive is, or exactly what she's trying to accomplish, because everything's been in vague riddles. We had possessing Dvalin, the dragon, the upside-down statue case, the trying to utilize like the Fountain of Youth in the chasm, which didn't work out very well. And then the Caribert quest was sort of the origins of the Abyss Order. Despite all of that, we don't actually know what they're doing. And we don't know why our sibling joined them and became one of their leaders. So it's a little bit early to ask whether they've betrayed me or not. I don't know if they're doing this for us or for a reason that doesn't, for a future that doesn't include us. Could be one or the other or somewhere in between. I don't know. I guess I want to have faith in her. That's the most vague answer. The truth is we don't actually have enough information to go off of, despite this game being reaching almost its 4th anniversary. That's what I love about this. But we are waiting for the answer. And yes, I do want to know whether she's betrayed us or not.
I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened.
Exactly.
There's still hope for the two of you to reconcile.
Can you help us?
Irreparable damage has not yet been done.
Oh, I hope you're right.
The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and long betrayed their nation.
Oh, okay.
His name is Vedrfolnir, the Visionary.
Okay.
I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Oh, interesting.
Brother?
Family drama. Interesting. That's another bombshell lore drop. What happened between the two of you? What really happened in Khaenri'ah back then?
There were 5 of them, the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah. The wise Roptatir, the visionary Vedrfolnir, Gold, Rhindaughter.
Okay, we know
The
Rhindaughter.
foul Sertologi.
Okay, we've heard about
And
Sertologi.
Rehir of Solnari, Rerir.
These are all
No matter
multiple
how
to
eroded
pronounce.
my memory may become, I will never forget their names.
Oh my gosh, the
One
glitchy.
day, I shall have my vengeance.
Zoom
Wait,
in on him.
some of those names sound really familiar. Rhindaughter is the one who created Albedo.
Yes.
Sertologi is Skirk's master.
Yes.
And the one we just learned about, Dain's brother, Vedrfolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clothar to create the Abyss Order was him.
And there's the Abyss Order's confirmed connection with Khaenri'ah, although we already knew it was connected with Khaenri'ah. But that's how it's connected with Khaenri'ah. And just the fact that the Abyss Order is made up of people from Khaenri'ah, somehow everything is connected. If that's true, then the stone slates we found in the ruins in Fontaine, the one that outlined Fontaine's prophecy, that was likely Vedrfolnir's doing as well. That's a callback I didn't. That's a connection I didn't make there. That's right, the stone slates, and we spent the whole time in the opera putting them together to try to figure out the case in Farina's trial.
They were once people of great esteem.
Why is there a dead bird in the middle of the water?
Those who carried the hopes of the nation. They were the best of their peers, outstanding in their respective fields.
Also, he waited a whole year to tell us that was his brother? I guess that was probably a lot to take in when we told him what we saw in our dream last time in the Caribert quest.
6 of us. Together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster. The ones to stop the Vinster King from continuing to rock the foundation of the world.
The Vinster King.
Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. They could not resist the call of the Abyss, and divided among themselves a power that could destroy the world. So they became sinners, but also transcendent beings, each in possession of world-shattering power.
Wow.
And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation. Not one came forward to prevent the tragedy, and for that, they shall never have my forgiveness.
Dang. That's... I don't know what to say. I guess that's the thing with power. You had 5 people who probably could have done something, and instead went with their own motivations instead, which did not include saving Khaenri'ah. There's still so much we don't know about Khaenri'ah, though. I mean, what actually happened? All we know is something about Celestia got involved, and this and that. If anything, it kind of sounds like Rheindotter was part of the reason why the Cataclysm was so bad, because she unleashed all the Rift Wolves, right? During the Cataclysm? So actually, that sounds like that's the complete opposite of helping out Khaenri'ah. Okay, I'm just gonna let him talk more. And then why sibling came in contact with your brother.
Indeed. If they are not stopped, the day is sure to come when they will also betray the entire world.
We still don't know why. I mean, just from the Caribert quest, that alone doesn't show the Abyss siblings' motivations for wanting to join the Abyss Order and, become a part of this. There's so much we still don't know yet. Why? Don't betray us. But it's like Dainsleif said, hopefully he still sees hope that the 2 of us can be reunited someday. And coming from someone like Dainsleif, that's the most positive news we've gotten from him so far in a long, long time. So I'm gonna take your word for it, and I truly hope that's the case too. I don't want the twins to be separated anymore. Even though that's the whole motivation for the story, even though that's the whole thing that keeps the traveler going through all of these weird and wonderful adventures, all the things we've learned about in this world, all the darkness, but also all the fun times. In the end, what's kept the traveler going is to be reunited with their sibling. So while that's been the main driving force for this wonderful adventure, I do hope someday it comes to a happy end, right? It must be hard to talk about all of this, but thank you for telling me.
Of course. As I said, I never intended to hide anything.
He just never gets a chance to get a word in
So,
until now.
Dain, what have you been looking into all this time?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate, It's been quite some time since the initial operation was launched.
Okay, what actually is the Loom of Fate? Because at first I thought the Loom of Fate would be this actual thing, and then at the end of the quest last time they were saying, Caribert, he will become the something something, the Loom of Fate. Is the Loom of Fate a metaphorical thing or a physical thing? And if it's a physical thing, is it a person who is Caribert, or is it some kind of object that he controls?
By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller,
Gosh, that was
we
so
were
long
able
ago.
to stop part of their plan from coming to fruition.
That was literally 3 years ago when I was playing through this game at the beginning, like April of 2021. We got this big core thing.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they going to use it to corrupt Osial and make a god or something?
What did you do with it?
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just some sort of technical
What did you do with it,
experiment.
Dain? Okay, you don't have to tell us. Just tell us it's still good.
The eye was integral to their plan, yet somehow, despite failing to obtain it, they've skipped the experimental phase and found some other way to keep moving forward.
Maybe this is a question 3 years too late, but why would the core of the first field tiller be the most powerful? If anything, the very first of your prototypes would be the ones that would have the least power, I would think, and you slowly improve upon the iterations to make them more powerful and more powerful. What was special about the very first one then that made that core so essential to the plan?
There are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then what should we do? It's not too late, is it?
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to deduce the Abyss Order's true objective. Based on the intel I've gathered so far, I suspect the Loom of Fate is related to the ley lines in some way.
As
ley
everything
lines?
is.
Traveler,
Okay.
you were able to observe your siblings' memories last time, yes?
Yeah.
I believe that was due to the fact that the ley lines in that area were unstable.
And there's been other incidents too where we were able to see some sort of memories or memories formulate in areas where the ley lines were unstable, bringing memories to the surface of things that happened long ago. What does that have to do this
recent
time?
investigation has shown that Abyss Order activity in a particular area is usually followed by a series of issues with the ley lines.
And also, the Abyss Mages drop ley line branches, right? So definitely they are definitely messing with the ley lines. This is like 3 years worth of lore having to like piece together right now is what we're doing here. All these tiny little details you need to have been paying attention to since the very beginning. This is why this game takes up, I mean, it's the thing that's going on in my life a lot of the time right now. It's just, you know what? Just trying to piece together all this stuff. I love this a lot. One of the things that flows through the ley lines are
Wait.
memories.
Then our commission here in Vimara Village. The person who seems to exist only in people's memories. Could it be connected?
Memories. Ley lines, the Loom of Fate, the missing person that doesn't seem to exist. What's the connection between all this? Okay, I'm just throwing my theory out there. I expect there's a very high chance it's wrong, as usual. Do you think Caribert is the person who is missing in that the missing commission's about? But if it's not Caribert, it's somebody else related to the Abyss Order.
It's certainly possible.
Because that's why we
I'll
keep
join
talking
your
about Loom of Fate
investigation tomorrow.
right now, right?
This missing persons case could very well turn out to be the key to unraveling these mysteries.
Well, if we're teaming up with Dain again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating somewhere a little further away tomorrow.
Okay. The poor bird that probably just fell into the water and couldn't fly away. Okay, good morning.
Oh, so tired. Paimon used way too much brain juice yesterday.
I know, right? Me too.
All that complicated stuff.
I know, right? He just shows up every year or so and gives us a year's worth of information all at once. I don't know how I'm supposed to handle this. I'm gonna spend the next few days probably processing everything he just told us. And we're only we're probably not even that far in the story yet. We're probably just starting. I didn't sleep well either. My head's a
Well,
mess.
let's go find Dain. We've got a lot to do today.
Talk to Dains of memories that should not exist.
The wind rises. Surge forth.
Surge forth.
Dain? Hello, Dain? Why are you just zoning out over here?
He's remembering. Come on, don't interrupt him. He doesn't have a lot of complete memories.
Something happen?
What's wrong, Dain?
The missing person from your commission. Could you describe them to me?
Oh,
Not really.
young guy? Early 20s? Seriously, Dain, what's going on?
There appear to be certain memories in my mind that weren't there before. Memories
Okay.
of him.
Maybe we just talked too much about him yesterday and you had a weird dream or something?
No, it wasn't a dream. They're memories. Memories that suddenly appeared in my mind after I woke up.
We never hear Dainsleif talking this quiet. He's always talking like, oh, I'm gonna talk so brooding about the Abyss Order and all these bad things. But, oh my gosh. If Dainsleif is talking quietly and reminiscing, this is kind of really important.
And I'm certain I've never met this person before.
Well, what exactly did you remember?
I remember handing him the eye of the first field tiller.
Oh. Dainsleif. How does this memory appear? Specifically, does this appear real?
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order then.
Okay.
And it appears he possesses the ability to implant memories into the minds of others.
Okay, implant memories or take them away? Because definitely sounds like implanting memories in the memories of people here. But I don't know, it kind of sounds like he probably took away your memories of stealing the eye of the first field tiller and then put them back. It's probably what I'm kind of concerned about here. How is that even possible?
Wait then. All the memories the villagers have of him, could they be fake too? Maybe they never knew him at all.
And the ley lines are the roots of Irminsul, the tree of memories, too.
But why would he do something like that?
Whatever the Abyss Order is planning, an important truth has been revealed to us this morning.
What sort of truth?
What sort of truth?
That their goal is still to obtain the eye of the first field tiller. They haven't stopped searching for it.
Well, Dainsleif, I sincerely hope you hid it very well and you didn't bury it in a treasure chest with an X marks the spot on an island somewhere.
I am the only person who knows its location. Perhaps implanting that particular memory was an attempt to interfere with my mind in some way.
Dainsleif, do you think they stole your memories so they can know what the location is? Is the eye still safe? What if that memory is real?
Your concerns are not entirely unfounded. I don't believe the Abyss Order is capable of altering reality like that just yet.
No, but if they can mess with your brain, they might be able to actually figure out where it is.
However, considering their single-minded pursuit of the eye, I would see an equal level
Okay,
of caution.
so at least we know they haven't dropped the eye from their plan.
Come with me. We must check whether
They still
the eye
need
is
it
still in
to
our
achieve
possession.
whatever goal they're trying to do here.
Oh, so you're going to take us to where you hid it?
Actually, Dainsliff, that's a terrible idea. Because probably what they've done is they've planted. Now that you're doing this, I realize they probably planted this memory in your brain, so now they can follow you to get it for real this time. Because there's no doubt that they're in Vimara Village and that they're watching us. Maybe we shouldn't have stayed here overnight. Now that I think about it, considering this is the place with all the issues. Well, everything was better with the benefit of hindsight, isn't it? We should just keep going. Okay, exactly! Aether thinks the same thing as me! But what if someone follows us? If we go straight there and someone's on our tail, aren't we just exposing the eye's location? That's exactly what I'm worried about! Maybe that's the reason the Abyss Order implanted that memory in the first place. To force Dain to confirm the eye's location. Yeah, you agree? Given what I know of him, though, I'm sure Dain has already thought of that possibility. It seems like he might already have a plan. I just hope his plan is smarter than the other bad guys' plans, you know. Lead the way, Dain. Gosh, no. Dainsliff has been our source of information for so long. If we're getting to the point now where Dain is starting to run into things he doesn't know, like really, really doesn't know, we are starting to get into the very scary part of unknown territory here.
Behold!
Every time we've been with him, he has something new to share. And he's always helping us, almost guiding us with everything that has to do with the Abyss Order. So
you hid it way out here? Not an easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
okay, was this portal thing here when you put it here? Okay, what's happening?
We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Please don't tell me he just got possessed by something else that's in his brain and now looking at the location of the Eye of the First Field Tiller. What was Dain going to tell me just now? It was probably super important. That's all I can say. And also, we don't know Dainsliff says this is about blue energy. We don't actually know what that power is. Okay. Place of Revelations. Dain brings you to where he hid the eye before. As you continue onward, the answers will soon be revealed, but when you step within, there seems to be something strange going on with Dain. Okay, fire and electro. I probably want to go with fire and electro. I'm gonna go with Farina, who's not fire or pyro or electro. Yeah.
What is the situation?
I just need somebody who can heal. Because I think we're gonna need it. Okay, chasm music. Can I just say the lower chasm music, like this part, like this one? It's so mysterious. It's definitely the precursor to what Kanria music is going to be like. And I love that so much. Okay. Bunch of things that are locked over there. We're surely not going to unlock everything and every single fail-safe. So that way somebody could just run and take it. That would be very bad. Okay, there's a lot of mushrooms. Okay, that's not what I want. Actually, we need our buddies here. I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, did they just go pyro electro just because of these mushrooms? Yeah, I gotta fight some of them with Aether. This is his thing, right?
appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
This one? Not this one. Mechanism over there. Over there does not... Over there is not... you know, most descriptive. I'm just gonna assume you mean over where the quest marker is. I thought you said this goes to the upper floor. Oh, it does. Okay. Is that another floor down there, or is that just you just die? Okay, you just die. I'm so glad we tried that out. Oh, I should have brought wanderers so I can like fly around. Anyway. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. I don't know. We're going to this spooky, super spooky cave. I don't know if everything's gonna be okay. Okay. These are cool. These are cool. Do these switches come from Conria, or are they even older than Conria? I forget. That's when thousands of years of lore we're trying to hold on to all at once. Okay, I assume this is not the field. You didn't put the first field tiller into another field tiller, I assume. That wouldn't be the best usage of resources.
There is no escape.
Okay. We're taking this room. Who is this figure? There's been so many statues of people. Every time it's a person, their head gets like chopped off. It's starting to seem like it's not a coincidence. I think a lot of these statues have been defaced. Yeah, see? Now, Dainsliff, I do have a question for Dainsliff. Why would you hide the eye of the first field tiller in like this maze castle thing? This domain, basically. Instead of, I don't know, a treasure chest. Not with an X marks the spot, but a treasure chest nonetheless. Okay, this is the room we were just in, except these things got unlocked.
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism.
Okay, and then we rotate this one. That. See? Puzzle solving.
The door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
You only put one safety door? Dainsliff, this is like the most important like object in the entirety of Teyvat. You only put one lock combo on it? And that's the combo you made? This is... Dainsliff, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't think this is necessarily gonna go very well for us here. If Dainsliff can even hear us right now. Okay, here we are.
Looks like we can't go any further.
What's
Be on
creeping
your
up behind
guard.
us?
I sense the presence of the abyss.
Yeah? No doubts about that.
They're here!
Okay, I assume this is why I needed the pyro and electro, so thank you for making me get it.
Yoo-hoo! Ah.
Defeat the abyss hell. Okay.
Shine down.
No, don't hurt Karina. Vanguard of Newborn Fate? Uh-oh.
The show. There is no firehead.
Okay, if I had my previous team, this would be a pretty difficult fight, so I'm glad I swapped them out. Talk to Dainsliff. Dainsliff. Please
Just
be
as I
okay.
suspected. The false memories were a trap. The Abyss Order just wanted to follow us here. Now that
Well,
they're in the
you
vicinity,
knew that.
should
We
have
all
a
knew
chance to
that.
see.
What's that glowing thing? Dain!
What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance in the ley lines. It
Oh,
must be the
no.
work of the Abyss.
I don't think Ether can't feel the disturbance though, right? Or because even though Ether can see memories in the ley lines, Ether is not part of the Irminsul network, right? So I assume Ether would not be as affected by disturbances in the ley lines, even though he can experience the memories within
Wow,
them.
you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Paimon doesn't feel it.
Do you think Paimon's also not part of Irminsul too?
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place.
Dain. Splitting up is a terrible idea. I think we should either stay here and defend the Eye, or we should leave together and lock this place with the 30 locks you should have put on here.
The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara Village, I suspect you might finally have the opportunity to locate the missing villager.
Okay.
Just think of it as a way to divide and conquer.
Okay. Alright. I think Dainsliff has been possessed by something. You know, this path doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Dain, this path doesn't look like it's going anywhere. I just thought I'd point this out. You're just locking us in a stone room with a door that seems to only lock from the outside. But something still feels off. What am I missing? Dain? Dain? This isn't Dain. This isn't the Dain that we usually know. At least. Something's happened to him. Oh gosh, this music only plays when stuff is going down. This only happens when things are happening. Oh my gosh, who is that? It's actually really creepy to hear the stepping noise without hearing it. Ah!
I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
You wanted to meet with Lumine without us? That was your plan?
You risked your safety and that of the Eye? That's quite the gamble, Dainsliff. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
Well, yeah.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone. I know you must have a lot to say, but if it's a conversation you want, you'll have to defeat me first.
Lumine! Oh, but we're not gonna get to see the fight. We're just going back to Vimara
The
Village.
Abyss Order's on the move. The ley lines
Oh,
are all
no.
out of whack.
We're not.
We better hurry back to Vimara Village and see what's going on.
Check on the Hilichurl? Hilichurl singular? Oh no. Okay, I'm really glad I have a healer on my team because we appear to be locked in a story domain that is disguised as the actual map, just like in the Caribert quest. And that's only an indicator that things are about to go very wrong. And that we're about to learn a lot of lore, but mostly that things are about to go very wrong.
Hey, look at those Hilichurls over there.
They seem strangely
Weren't they
calm.
acting super agitated just a little while ago? Why are they so calm all of a sudden?
Wait, I hear something. What
In
is
the
this?
new world, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering, or try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy. Such was the price they paid, and thus their souls became cleansed and pure.
Did you hear that? What was that sound just now?
At least you heard it too, Paimon. It was
It
someone's
sounded
voice.
so gentle. Could that voice be comforting the Hilichurls in some way? Oh, this is weird. Let's check if this is happening anywhere else.
Oh. Oh. We've been to the place where the Hilichurls go at the end of their life. We know that you're not just... There's more to the Hilichurls that meets the eye. We're not stealing the apples. That's their apples. Not gonna steal it, not even by accident.
Looks like the same thing is happening over here too. The Hilichurls are calm.
It's the
You
butterflies.
see, we're both still here. We've reclaimed an endless amount of time to love. Release your tears. You no longer need to hold back your sorrow.
It's that voice again. Interesting.
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, he whispered softly, "Sleep well, Father. Sleep well, my beloved people. When you awake, that which differentiates us shall be no more."
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the Hilichurls have calmed down, Vimara Village should be safe at least. Let's put this situation to the side for now. Dain said this might be our chance to find the missing villager, so we should head back to Vimara Village before it's too late.
Something's gonna happen with the Vimara Village. Talk to Amadea. World Order narration? That's extremely ominous. Oh, hold on. See, I didn't just go and die because I was out of stamina. I used Farina instead, and then I ran out of stamina. Thanks for coming with us, Farina. Why did they lock this area?
Grandpa Amadea, is everyone alright? The Abyss Order seems to be up to something nearby.
The Abyss Order? This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Well,
Thank you for your concern. But as far as I'm aware, it's been business as usual here in the village.
well, that's a bigger lead
Well,
for
that's good to
the
hear.
missing persons case if
Also,
you're
you didn't
interested.
happen to come across any clues about the missing villager while we were gone, did you?
Someone's gone missing, you say? Who would that be?
Oh
Huh?
no. You don't remember? You're paying us, aren't you?
You know, the young guy from Vimara Village. The one you've been looking for all this time. You posted a commission with the Sumeru Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, you did.
Kind of the whole reason we're
So-
here, actually. Your missing persons commission.
Ah, I do apologize, you two. I hope I'm not worrying you too much. I'm sure it's just my age making me forgetful again.
No, it's not. I
At
swear
least
it's
right
not.
now, I can't seem to recall whatever it is you're referring to.
Oh,
Perhaps
no.
you should try
No, no, no,
asking
no, no,
someone
no, no.
else.
This is where it's getting really bad.
How is that? Oh,
Sorry. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to click, but,
something's definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa Amadia about the missing villager. There's no way he could have forgotten all about him just like that. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased again?
very likely, yes. I think I think the one person we need to talk to is Atosa, because Atosa seemed to have the strongest memories of this person.
You're right. We should narrow down the possibilities first. Let's go ask someone else then.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting worried. I'm getting super worried.
A missing villager? Did I really forget something so important?
Don't worry about it. I mean, you're the chief, so you probably should be worried about it. But I'm just gonna tell you right now. I don't think this is a problem you can necessarily solve. I'm sorry to say. Hello. We chatted with you yesterday. Do you remember that? We had this nice conversation, and you were talking about this guy.
Who?
Do you at least remember talking to
Just as
us?
expected. That guy you said a bunch of nice things about earlier? The one you always used to chat with. He's around 20 years old, and you said he was a kind, warm-hearted person?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Really? You remember?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of praise from me. If you're certain that's what I said, then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. But why'd you say he's gone missing?
Well, have you seen him recently?
Yeah, I just saw him leave the village. There was someone else with him, too. They couldn't have gone far.
I'm gonna assume you're talking about the same person as before.
Strange. Bayram seems to remember him, and apparently he just saw him? Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with people's memories, but that we've somehow returned to a time before he went missing?
I doubt returning to the past would be that simple. Well, Aether, there was an entire Archon quest where you basically did just that. Given everything Dain said about the disturbances with the ley lines, I'd say it's far more likely this is related to memories in some way. I need to think carefully. What's really going on? Or are we going to do the thought bubble thing again? Yeah. People have forgotten about the missing person.
Just like what happened with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, no one remembers him. Because there's been a change in people's memories.
We've returned to a point before the disappearance took place?
If we really did travel back to a time before he disappeared, that could explain why the villagers said he hadn't gone missing.
Okay.
If this person only exists in people's memories, maybe we're in someone's memory right now.
Yeah, that
Right.
one.
Paimon totally forgot about the ley line disturbances. We're in someone else's memory.
Yeah.
Just like how you entered your sibling's memory last time.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
That would also explain why we seem to be at a time before he went missing. It's a memory after all.
Okay, then the key question is, whose memory is it? If we really are in someone's memory, then this is our chance to find him.
If he's someone who only exists in people's memories, then we're finally on the same turf. But didn't Bayron just say that he saw him leave the village with someone? Where should we go look for him? Who knows how long this ley line disturbance is gonna last? We might not have that much time, and we don't even know whose memory this is.
Let's go through what we know so far.
Yeah, that'll help us narrow things down.
We haven't talked
We
to
pretty
Atosa
much
yet.
figured out that the missing villager has the ability to...
Implant memories into the minds of others.
Right! That! Could we
Or
try
it could
to
be
figure
somebody
out more
else
about him using what we
making
know
up
of
for
his
this
ability?
person altogether. That this person doesn't even exist.
Like, does it maybe leave a trace that would somehow give him away?
Implanting memories into the minds of others must be an imperfect process. There's no way the new memories could perfectly blend in with the older ones. There has to be some kind of tell. Scenes when false memories will not
All
change.
the memories seem to be set in or near Vimara Village, but I'm still not sure if they're restricted to this location.
Time does not pass within false memories.
If time was allowed to pass within the false memories, there's a higher chance they might conflict with someone's original recollection.
Yes,
That would
that's
make
true.
it much harder to avoid suspicion.
It would be harder to make this seamless if the memory had to be connected on either side to something. Only if you make this an isolated memory, not connected to anything, frozen in time, would it actually be able, without requiring no blending, except for the fact that this memory is blended into just the sea of memories you have.
There's a difference between memories that arise from lived experiences and those that are implanted into the mind. Perhaps it has something to do with time.
Okay, time.
No wonder! All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit! That must mean time isn't passing! That's the tell of the fake memories!
Well, I'm glad you figured that out.
The implanted memories are basically taking place outside of the regular 24 hours of the day.
Yeah. And if you're making this a memory of, say, like, oh yeah, this happened years ago or months ago, people are not going to remember the specifics of what happened before or after. They'll just remember this one time and this picture in their mind of the dusk sky. And it will seem really natural because it's not as though it seems, hey, we were here for a long time. No, you just remember the one thing. But that's where we come in and say, that's the weakness here.
If the memories included the regular passage of time, it would be easy for people to tell that something was off.
Yeah, because people have to go to work, people have to go talk with their friends, do like activities, things that would take place during the day, like eat dinner. And then if this memory seemed to last forever, people would think back and think, hey, why did I eat dinner that day?
Like there could be overlap or something. People might start to wonder why they remember doing two different things at the same time of day.
Exactly.
That's why he makes sure the memories take place at a specific moment in time rather than over a period of time.
This still doesn't explain where he went. If we consider this in conjunction with what we already know, then the question of whose memory this is seems to already have an obvious answer. It's Atosa.
The color of the sky coincides with the moment in time she described.
Oh, right! That's exactly what Atosa described!
Mind you, probably there's other people whose memories of this individual also happened at dusk. But that's exactly what Atosa said, so we're going to go with that.
Oh, come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk. Just like right now.
Okay.
Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Yeah.
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Atosa's memory.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's where they'll be.
And remember, they were up in the tree. They were up in the tree before. I assume that was her and the other person when they were younger. Maybe they're still there. Maybe that's what the memory is. And they're wearing Khaenri'ah-related clothing. Okay. Okay.
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like that out of habit. She's not trying to scare the children on purpose. Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. Do you maybe have anything you want to share? It's okay if you don't. You could also just talk about what you think of me?
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong and thoughtful young woman. You'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Oh no.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
We're not interrupting, are we? Sorry. We finally found him. Why does he look kind of familiar? Hi, Clothar.
Oh, right. This version of Atosa hasn't met us yet.
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have
Or
taken
is
them a
it
lot of effort to
Caribert?
find me. So, I should see what they need.
No, that's
I'm
definitely
sorry,
Clothar.
Atosa.
He has
We'll
the
have to
same
continue
eyes.
this
It's
conversation
Clothar.
another time.
But it could be, that's why it
Okay,
could be Caribert too. I think it's Clothar because the same clothing and hair
Yeah,
and eyes.
okay. I'll head back to the village.
But just
then.
younger.
Talk to you some other time.
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
You're... It is Caribert! I was right! I was right for once! I was like, okay, that's either Clothar or Caribert, because Caribert is Clothar's son, so that's why they could have the same eyes and hair and everything. But that's right, the handkerchief! Oh my gosh! Alright, you guys did good with this one. Hey, Caribert Alberic.
Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the Loom of fate. You're Caribert Alberic.
Oh. You know me? That's quite the surprise. I don't believe I've met you before.
You grew up. You were like little and you were a Hilichurl when we met you last time. And now you're like all grown up. But that's like as soon as we're talking about the Loom of Fate and this guy, and he's super nice and he's sweet and kind to everybody, and his parents are not in the picture anymore, and we're dealing with ley lines, I realized, oh my gosh, it's Caribert, isn't it? And he looks like his father, that's why.
It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. You saw the me from back then. This is Atosa's memory. I came here to say goodbye to her.
Oh, that's sweet of
But
you.
I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to talk.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read the Savat script, even though I know there's a translator for it. Okay, if we don't figure out what this is by the end, I'm gonna have to look this up. What is this place? The butterflies. The proof of existence. It was Caribert. Caribert, what happened to you when you were younger? The last time we saw you, you were like... You like tore off your mask and like something happened to you with all this energy. And now you have all of these powers that make you the Loom of Fate. What happened? I don't know. I really think we should look out for him, you know, since we knew him since he was little. But I don't know what your plans are, or what your motives are, or what you're doing here. What are you doing here? So many questions. Okay, answer them. What is this place?
I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world after all, as you well know.
Well, you have a beautiful consciousness. No wonder everybody who met you thought you were so kind and you cared about everyone. If this is what your soul looks like, I mean, that shows that you were an amazing person with all that you were able to do in the real world, despite not being able to interact with the real world. You look quite exhausted.
It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this, and now, the time has finally arrived.
Notice he also has the Conria eyes as well, even though he's only half Conrian. I guess like Kaya too, right? Or Kaya is like a descendant of Conria. This is a rare opportunity for me as well. I should try to learn as much information from Caribert as I can. What exactly happened to you? What exactly is the Loom of Fate?
Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. And a degree of abyssal power that defies comprehension. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the Loom of Fate. But despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the Loom of Fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction.
Aww.
In truth, I died the moment I set everything in motion.
Aww.
The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over within the Loom of Fate.
Caribert is dead. That's why he no longer exists outside of people's memories.
As for your question, the Loom of Fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines.
Oh, that's what it's the Loom of. Weaving ley lines? Of course! Oh my gosh, that makes sense! Because the Loom of Fate and the ley lines control memories. In a way, one could say. I mean, that's memories of the past, present, and future. You can weave fate with that if you're able to have a loom. I like making these little connections. Weaving ley lines?
In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger, until finally, it has the power to weave real ley lines of its own.
Oh, I feel really bad for Caribert, because that sounds like the kind of power no mortal would be able to withstand. So I can tell that he's really been through a lot since the moment we saw all that power surging through him before.
Once fully completed,
Maybe that's
the
why he's
moment it
human
gains
too,
the
because
power
this
to
is his
weave ley
dream.
lines, it loses the lower level ability to influence memories. But it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world.
So that was the source of your ability to implant memories?
Yes. I have the ability to control the Loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of
So you
compensation.
could interact with people even though you weren't alive anymore?
After all, its existence cost me my life.
So the memories that suddenly appeared in Dain's mind were implanted by Caribert through the half-finished Loom of Fate. That makes sense. But I'm still lost as to why he went so far as to introduce himself to all the residents of Vimara Village. Well, maybe because he's really lonely. I mean, it sounds like he didn't have a very good childhood. It sounds like he didn't have a very good waking up from being in a coma. And it sounds like not long after he woke up from a coma, he was possessed with powers from a sinner and died. You know, I think the kid just wants to have some human connections. I think he just wants some friends. And it kind of sounds like you did make some friends. And that these people, you know, really, really cared about you. So I think that's wonderful that you were at least able to have that despite everything that happened to you. Why did you implant memories of yourself into the people of Vimara Village?
Ah, that. I was wrong to implant those memories. I'm sorry I caused so much trouble. Not only for everyone in the village, but for you as well.
Nice. This poor kid, he doesn't deserve to be used for, like, evil plans.
Just wanted them to feel like I once existed
See?
in this world.
He just wants to be part of something.
As if I had a chance at life.
So that's why. I would never have guessed. Well, as soon as I knew it was Caribert, I knew it would be something like that. I mean, he had a pretty bad life, and he doesn't even get to rest after death. I mean, it's just a small little thing for us, and yet for him, it's the whole world. It means the world to him to have those little connections, right? But is there any kind of meaning to this? Does only existing people's memories really count as living? Well, it's certainly more living than dead, I suppose.
I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so meaningless?
Well, that's because it's all he can do. It's all he's able to do, left to have control of his life, right?
But I just couldn't accept it. I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me.
Aww.
Chief Amadia, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them?
Also, there's the little dolls up there.
Cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life.
I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, it's not as though he actually did anything to harm them in real life. It is so selfish, but I mean, for someone who's, I mean, this game and its story makes characters suffer a lot. And I can tell Caribert is one of those characters from what we know about him and what he's describing. I mean, it might be a selfish desire, but can you really fight off that human urge to wish that your life, you could have had a chance at a normal life when you never had that for even a second? And to have the power to just sort of innocently experiment of what that would be like. I mean, you can't blame him for wanting to try, right?
Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. One memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid.
No, it doesn't. I mean...
After all, my life ended a long time ago.
Caribert?
Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness. Even the form you see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up.
In the end, this all stems from the tragedy that occurred in Conria back then. You know, everyone is looking for you.
I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But, well, that's not possible for me.
As I understand it, even though you only appeared in their memories, your existence was a great comfort to them. They all believe you once lived among them.
I know.
Aww. This makes me feel really sad, actually. I mean, bittersweet. Because in the end, with what little power he had left, he was able to find some sort of happiness. I'm just really sad that this is what happened to him. I mean, we spent the whole years wondering, you know, what happened to Caribert. I mean, there were so many questions at the end of the last quest. One of them was, you know, what happened to Caribert? Now we know. He did grow up, just not as a living person. He's probably forced to go through so many more trials that we don't even know since we last saw him. And soon he probably will fade away too when the Loom of Fate no longer needs somebody controlling it, right? When it no longer requires the power he didn't even ask for. Well, now that I found you, let's continue this conversation some other time. Dain might still need my help. Aether, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the last time we're gonna see him. At least in a place so peaceful, where we actually have a chance to just talk about life. So I almost feel like this is where we're gonna say our goodbyes, but I'm glad your life wasn't completely filled with sorrow. That you were able to find something of happiness at the end.
Captain Dainsleif. Twilight's sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Things should already be settled on his end.
What do you mean by that?
Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean one thing. The Loom of Fate has already been completed.
Excuse me? What? The Loom of Fate is already complete. That means that I, the first field teller, must have fallen into the hands of the Abyss. Could something have happened to Dain? Okay.
No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning.
Well,
Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he?
That's not a very safe location. Well, actually no, because Dainsleif is moving around all the time. Yeah, we're just gonna bypass the weirdness of this sentence and just kind of focus in on, yeah, Dainsleif carrying it around with him, it was definitely what I thought would be the most safe option. So I guess that answers my question. Why would you hide it in a cave like that? The answer is, he didn't! Is that what you're telling me? He didn't actually hide it in the cave? Because I thought the cave was a bad idea, but inside his body seems like a... Okay.
His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the princess. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location.
What?
That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. A very thorough plan.
Hold on. Back up. What do you mean he handed me the eye? He never handed me the eye.
That's right. Because in his mind, he had given it to you already.
Why would he do that? Wait, does that mean he gave Dain a false memory? Okay. Wait. Oh, when he sent us off on the pathway to the door, that's when he thought he gave us the eye. And then he went to face Lumine. But in truth, he hadn't given us the eye? Is that what the timeline you're telling me? Because I know you made him think that he lost the eye earlier, but you're kind of implying that you made him think he gave away the eye when we left. That didn't happen. You made him think that. When?
Before you two entered that false location.
Oh, before then. Sorry. We're getting a little in the details
Traveler,
here.
wait.
Oh, that's what he was trying to tell us. Huh?
We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Well, why would he keep going in the cave at that point if he thought he'd already given us the eye? Okay, well, because it's part of his plan, because he thought he was tricking Lumine. Otherwise, why would you still go in there? Oh, he didn't even, in his memory, he didn't even know, in the memory Caribert gave to Dainsleif, Dain gives us the eye, but he doesn't tell us he's given us the eye. So he thinks he just passes the eye and keeps going because this is keeping up the act of thinking that the eye is in there to trick Lumine. But in reality, Caribert was like 10 steps ahead of all of that. Because in truth, Dain hadn't given us the eye, and he definitely didn't tell us. He didn't tell us he'd given us the eye in the fake memory or the real memory. Not in the real memory because it wasn't real, and not in the fake memory because he thought he was following the plan. This is... So when Dain froze up back then, it was because a false memory was being implanted in his mind. No wonder.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory
And because it's
to be
momentary,
real.
it kind of worked.
I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye.
Oh, okay. I don't feel hurt. I don't feel hurt by Caribert doing this, because I just think he needs to catch a break and he needs to get a win whenever he can. Everybody else involved in this, what are you all doing? And why would you betray me like this? Except for Caribert. So Dain had the eye this whole time, until the Abyss Order took it away. I'm not sure there's anything we could have done. Yeah, you know, when we're talking about an enemy who can literally alter people's memories, I'm not sure there's a lot we can do to avoid any other issues until we solve that issue first. This is because we're getting into some really complicated stuff here right now. Now that the Loom of Fate is complete, what are you planning on doing with it?
I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you, but I truly have no idea what the princess is planning.
What? You guys have been stuck doing this stuff for years. That's so sad, actually, that he's the whole Abyss Order is founded around this, and he has no idea what's going on. He's just a pawn in all of this. That's what I mean. I feel really bad for Caribert.
Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that already exist. In the face of everything they could be planning, I fear I'm too insignificant to even get a glimpse of the bigger picture. In any case, I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal, at least, has been achieved.
Your goal?
You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberich.
Oh yeah, we remember.
I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory.
Yes, of course, we remember him. He died.
After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my Hilichurl form, I suffered from an indescribable level of mental anguish. To comfort me, my father told me a story, that this was a fairy tale world where I had to take on the form of a little monster.
I remember that.
That story managed to dispel my fears, even if just for a moment.
Okay.
My goal was simple: to use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form, when its ability to create memories was at its strongest, to implant a specific memory into the minds of the Hilichurls. In that memory, I would tell them a story, just like my father did for me.
That's what the voice was that we heard.
It was a story of fairy tales and love. But more than anything, it was the story of us.
Story of us? So the thing that caused the Hilichurls to calm down back then was Caribert's story. So that was his goal. That was the only thing he wanted. He had a device as powerful as the Loom of Fate at his disposal, and all he wanted to do with it was to offer the Hilichurls a moment of comfort and peace. See, he really is just truly a kind soul. He just got caught up in so much that he didn't deserve to be.
I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. Implanting those memories, that was the most worthwhile thing I could offer.
Perhaps. I think it was very meaningful indeed.
All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. In truth, that trace of my consciousness should have dissipated long ago. My goal was the one thing that allowed me to hold on all this time. But now, the bedtime story is finished. And it's finally time to rest.
Caribert. So beautiful here. Bye, Caribert. I hope you can finally rest now.
Looks like I was too late to see Caribert one last time.
Aww. We're all sad. What are you doing here?
Caribert's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation?
Please! I missed you so much!
The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree?
They should have had Aether or the playable sibling voiced talking through this whole conversation. I almost can't believe it's real.
That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dain, I mean.
Yeah, I
didn't
imagine.
expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years.
This is the first conversation they've had in so long. What exactly are you planning?
The Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time before the Heavenly Principles awaken.
The Heavenly Principles are still asleep?
Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria. There's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Yes?
This is exactly... They are addressing this here!
Such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation.
Yeah.
However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it.
You really hate the Heavenly Principles, don't you?
You could say that. Just look at Caribert. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful. Even as a Hilichurl, seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit.
And he was just so soft and soft-spoken and kind-hearted. He didn't deserve this. Just look at how beautiful his soul is.
He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the Heavenly Principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words. Aether?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's There's so much I wanted to ask you, but for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together, you told me you wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me, well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean...
I miss you too, Aether. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes, let alone my own brother.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our inability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Caribert gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Are we telling him this now? I mean... I don't know what to say.
Still so sleepy. Paimon's head feels all fuzzy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried, so they decided to just bring us back here. Oh, and Dain came by just now. It looked like he was injured. He didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were all right and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's Dain for ya.
So we can't even ask Dain. We can't even ask... I'm having trouble thinking straight right now.
Let's think for a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you called Caribert.
Okay, so we got that far.
He was the missing villager.
So it's only in the paradise.
And
Oh, we
after
don't
that,
remember.
Paimon doesn't remember what happened.
Oh, okay, we still remember talking with Caribert. We just don't remember after Caribert disappeared. Caribert and I talked for a while. He told me about the Loom of Fate.
Really? What a score!
I guess our commission is complete then. The missing villager, the person who only existed in people's memories, was Caribert all along. But now that he's gone, I'm not sure how to explain things to the villagers.
Well, what happened after that?
After that... I can't seem to remember. Maybe I'm just tired? I feel like something else happened, but why can't I remember? I'm not sure why. But it almost feels like I lost something. Well, maybe now you finally get to experience how Nahida felt after Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared.
Ah, there you are. Sleep well?
Yeah, we slept real good.
Bayram, you sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. Wasn't anything good or bad, I'd say.
Well, you're in good
It's just that,
spirits, so that's something good.
The village organized another search party yesterday. It didn't feel right to leave all the searching to the adventurers. So there we were, searching away, when suddenly this one guy said it all came back to him. According to him, one day around dusk he was passing by this one tree outside the village, and he saw our missing villager. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake him up, and they all left together.
Aww,
It looked like quite a happy family, apparently.
that's so sweet. Maybe that's how Caribert imagined what he imagined as he started to fade away. That he and his family could have lived peacefully together. And if so, I'm really happy he was able to get that. That he was able to have that sort of peace in the end.
And after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Kind of strange that we forgot all about it for so long.
So that's how Caribert said his goodbyes. That was the last memory
and we
he gave
also
them.
remembered his name, Caribert. Now, that's not a name you hear every
Okay,
day.
you do remember
Would
his
have been
name.
helpful if we remembered it sooner.
That is a unique name. Make sure you remember it this time.
Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is. And we're all relieved now that we know
Me
what
too.
happened.
Me too. I'm happy that both
Seems like
in
everyone
actuality
thinks Caribert left the village.
and
That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort of explanation now.
not only do they know that he left the village, but they know that he was at peace and happy. And so there's no regrets there. That he's gonna be okay. And that's what we know too. Caribert is gone. The Loom of Fate is now complete. And no one else will try to change the villagers' memories.
Paimon wonders how Atosa's doing. Maybe we should go check on her. If she hasn't remembered like everyone else, we can tell her what happened. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so she's probably at the tree. Come on, let's go talk to her.
I can't believe Dainsliff just left. I imagine Lumine probably fought you pretty hard. You should probably rest here the night again, like you did last time with us for one night. You finally rested. Hey, I didn't want to interrupt earlier, but did you notice Aether said, "Hey Lumine, you're the only one who calls me that." Calls him Aether. You know, it is strange. I mean, us as the players, we do call them Aether and Lumine all the time. Or we just refer to them by their usernames. Why does he have a different name that he uses as the Traveler than what appears to be his actual name that his sibling knows and uses? I mean, why did he come up with a different name? I mean, it's because we came up with a different name. But story-wise, since no loose ends are left ever in this game, why did he come up with another name to use while traveling here? Hello,
Hey,
Atosa.
Atosa, how's it going?
Oh, it's you two. I was just about to go looking for you. I wanted to thank you. I was part of the search party, so I remember what happened to Caribert now. Honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important.
Maybe he wanted you to forget him.
He always seemed to appear out of nowhere, and now he left just as quickly. If Caribert wants me to forget about the time we spent together, then I'm willing to try. I relied on him for a lot of things, but I'm sure with enough time, even the deepest of attachments can fade.
No, that's not true. If Caribert did want you to forget him, it was only because he cared. And because he cared, then if you really did forget him, it would be because of that attachment. Because of that bond that you shared, that he's only trying to protect you. That doesn't mean that the attachment goes away. I mean, you two did spend time together. That doesn't just disappear. Even with the strongest of magic.
Okay, I'll admit, I'm just putting on a brave face. I was dumped, wasn't I?
I wouldn't put it in
Otherwise,
those
why
terms.
would he just leave like that without saying goodbye?
I wouldn't put it in those terms. He did leave you behind. But I'm sure he had his reasons.
You don't need to comfort me. I'll be okay. It's just like Caribert said. It's the things we overcome that make life more precious. And you know, if he has a heart, maybe he'll come back and see me one day. Anyway, thanks for all your hard work, you two. I promised I'd help Granny Jahia with something, so I should head back.
Maybe someday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, that should be it, right? Everyone's lives can go back to normal now.
I guess.
Right! Weren't you about to tell Paimon what happened after your conversation with Caribert?
Well, I said I don't remember. Right. What was it that happened? I can't remember. Huh? It feels like there's something in my pocket.
A picture? Where'd that come from? Let Paimon see.
Aww! You must get along with each other, the two of you. Oh, Caribert! Look at, he's looking out for us. Even in death, he's still just so selfless. He finally gets a chance to rest, and still, he's out there looking out for us. So sweet of you. Group photo from an unknown time. A precious group photo that has somehow surpassed the rules somehow. Being taken by some unknown person using unknown means in a space that should no longer exist. I don't know, that's so emotional almost. I mean, of course it was. That's the whole thing about this games. Wow, okay. So we got our yearly lore drop from Dainsleif. Talked about the 5 sinners. We talked about the king. We still don't have a full picture of what happened in Conria, but we are slowly putting information together, bit by bit. The Loom of Fate can alter memories somehow. So that's what it does. Wait a second. Why after all this time I thought after one of these events, like after one of these Archon quests, one of these would finally open up. Okay, that's fine. I'm good with that. For sure. Okay, let's just hang out with the Sumpter Beast because that makes me happy. Caribert just wanted a chance to experience what it would have been like if he could have lived a normal life. I mean, if the one mercy he had of basically being a tool for power is that he could wield some of it, then the one blessing is that of course he got a chance to fulfill his dreams. That something a little bit for himself, he could experience what it was like to live in the village and live a normal life amongst humans. Just, going fishing, hanging out by the tree, And on the other hand, he also used his power to bring healing to the Hilichurls. The story that his father told him, was able to share that with the other Hilichurls. And it seems that really did bring them peace. So I'm grateful for that. And yeah, just the fact that he wields such extraordinary power and yet only used it for good and to do good things. That's the virtue. That's the virtue of somebody with such a pure heart, especially somebody, who died so long ago when they were so young and only had that naive, innocent perspective of the world. Perhaps that allowed him to not lose faith in the world and others, even when so many bad things had happened to him and everyone he knew. And That's a long time he spent as, you know, basically controlling it, being part of, using his power being used to create the... Is that how it happened? He was... The sinner... I already forgot his name. Vedalfolier? I think that was yeah, his power was basically used to revive Caribert, but also was also used, that's the power that was used to create the thing. Aww! Look at them! Dain left. Dain left without, you know, letting us debrief on what happened. Probably there was no need to debrief. Lumine probably just told him what we were up to. Huh? 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 I didn't do anything to you guys! What do you mean? I've just been running around and enjoying your presence! I didn't even touch you guys! That's great. It's fantastic. We're just heading over here. Okay. And we finally got to reunite with Lumine. Even if, you know, with this game, we still don't have the pleasure of having really met Lumine again. We've afforded a small conversation with her. Aether and Lumine reunited. Wow, you were chasing us quite far. Okay, there we go. Where are you going? Even if we don't exactly know the reasons yet, we know it has something to do with the heavenly principles, and that she dearly misses us too. Perhaps was it the heavenly principles were the ones that separated the two of us too? Maybe that's why she doesn't like the heavenly principles. I mean, we know that she had dealings with basically the inhabitants of this world. I can't remember if it was with Conria yet. But before we woke up in that opening cutscene where we're fighting the heavenly principles, apparently Aether had only just woken up, but Lumine had already been here for some time. I don't know exactly what happened, but she's right. It was really sad what happened to Caribert. We still don't have a full picture of what's going on. But every year, our picture becomes clearer and clearer as day. And perhaps soon we will have the answers we seek. Alright, well, with that, I think I'm going to be ending off this episode. And we're gonna wait until next year to see what happens next in this part. Because so much is gonna happen between now and then. We're gonna go through Natalan, we're gonna meet the dragons, we're gonna see what else happens in there. We didn't even know yet. It's gonna be so different by the time we next follow through with this storyline, but I'm glad we had our check-in. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll do one more thing before we sorry, Paimon. Traveling in the nights you left me in, I feel you in the last blow of wind. Even know where I can find you out. The answer is not far off now. This journey of ours has been bittersweet. Close my eyes wondering what you would have dreamed if you were here standing next to me. Would you know how I feel and see what I see? Know that I will always try finding your rhythm and rhyme. Though the nights are long and dark, I'll see you shining bright. And no matter where you are, you've come with me this far, showing the way when all else falls apart. When The snow all melts away, and the ice finally breaks. Have you taken off? Are you already on your way? No matter where you are, I've come with you this far. I'm never really lost. Our paths will surely cross.